Behold, I am the collector.
For claving out loud. Behold, I am the collector, and I'm here to add you to my collection.
So aside from that awkwardly executed attempt at a funny intro, I would like to say that I have really tried to make amends with my whole YouTube project. What I mean by that is, well, actually I was planning to purchase Panasonic's GH5 a couple of months ago, and you can see I'm stuttering because I haven't been filming for 6 months. So I tried purchasing a GH5 on the second-hand market, and well, at any rate, the purchase didn't came through. I was a bit down on this situation, as you might expect, because I love me loves my gadgets. So I felt bad for a couple of weeks. Then I decided to turn this into an actual advantage, or rather to turn the situation into my advantage. What I try to do is bid online on auctions and try to buy as much camera gear as possible with as little money as possible, meaning bang for the buck. Camera equipment, especially filming ones, the ones that you can use for filming, and more importantly, micro four thirds ones. So imagine my surprise when I actually saw that this thing could generate a bit of a profit. Now, how much, I think you can gather from the intro, but just allow me to speculate on the matter. Were I to say I managed to pass about 40 cameras and lens kits, well, anyway, pieces of kit, I would have been able to make about almost close to 2,000 euros profit. Now, I'm not gonna say I've already achieved that for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a bit illegal to make profit in my country without paying taxes, especially when you get over a certain amount of money, which is about 500 euros, which is quite low considering what I have in front of me and what I have purchased beforehand. Wink wink. Second reason why this is highly I don't know how to put it, not so well received or looked upon. I'm losing my perspicacity in English. That's the price you pay when you don't film for a couple of months. But anyway, another reason for for disliking this type of activity is, well, basically you're putting a price on other people's hobbies and passions, and you're making a profit on them. So again, I will not say that I have or have not managed to do this, wink wink, just that it would be possible, and were I to do such a thing, I could make a profit, which is quite important considering I haven't been making any money of this YouTube endeavor thus far, and I am right now I believe in my 4th year in attempting to do something with this. This is a trial and error situation where I keep attempting and trying to do something about this channel. Now, I would like to state right now that I appreciate if you've watched this clip so far. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible and to explain to you exactly what steps I made and what steps I have encountered and identified in order to keep this endeavor rather successful and well, hassle-free, if you will, without any serious problems. But I'll get to those in a minute. Let's go over what I have purchased so far and just a short cover of what I have in front of me. So let me just start this camera as well, because I think this is also important. So I don't know if I'll be able to film, well, and better film with this one as well, because as you can see, I don't have a close-up shot of anything. So all all blunders aside and jokes and vague vague expressions, you have to excuse me for this. Well, I just want to say that I will be briefly going over whatever cameras I have in front of me, tell you approximately what I paid for them, with a margin of error of about, I don't know, 2-3% or something like that. And also I give conservative estimates, so I didn't really pay that much. And you can draw up some conclusions for yourself, and in the end I will explain my plan further on. And by the way, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, because well, your efforts are highly appreciated, or rather my efforts are highly I grovel and I beg for subscriptions and likes, and please do that, and I promise I will try to draw my most awkward self in each of these episodes in order to, I don't know, make you feel better about yourself, so whatever. With the likes of that Jeff Albertson intro, you know which one. Those in the know, those who are Simpsons fans, know what I mean. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Well, what I want to reiterate is, well, it's fairly obvious I haven't been filming for a while because I'm losing my train of thoughts. However, what I have to say, what I want to say right now is I'm going to quickly go over all these cameras and lens kits and gears which I have in front of me. I'll give a rough estimate, a conservative one, of what I paid on each of them, what they do, why I think they're special, and in the end I'll tell you my plans further along. So as always, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, because, well, basically I'm groveling in front of you right now and I'm begging for subscriptions and likes. I need to move along with this YouTube channel. I've gained some traction and some purpose with these cameras, so your help would be much appreciated. Now then, a couple of Olympus cameras right here. I have two EPL1s, an EP1, which is a rather striking and nice looking example, although albeit a bit worn around the edges, and I have an EPL3. Now, for these ones I paid roughly, because I bought them at a bulk auction. I paid for these about $40, less than $40 for each of them, which is quite a quite a profitable perspective, given that each of them comes with a complete package of battery, charger, and I don't know, the assortments, the strap, and so on. And the EPL3 even came with an original box and all the contents, with an adapted flash. These two came with a VF1 viewfinder, which I already managed to sell for about $25, so I recouped a lot of money. I'll put them aside for a bit. Now this EP1, well, it only cost me 48 euros, and that's about $55 to $60, which is not much. Let's call it an even $55. Sadly, it didn't come with a battery, but I planned on using one of the EPL1's batteries. And well, it also has another issue attached to it. Maybe you can see now. The IBIS doesn't work on this one. Still, it's a fully metal, iconic, and recognizable, and with a great camera with a huge fan base, and I think it's still worth a lot more. Not much, but percentage wise, I'm sure I can squeeze another 20% out of this, at least, at the very least. Now here I have some Sony gears, and first of all, this next 3 interesting camera, which, well, it's a pink unit, and it's a rather striking, nice one. I don't know if it turns on because the battery is a bit, well, it's a bit discharged, but still, it seems to be working just fine. I'll attach one random lens here. Let me just see. So it is clear I have been able to migrate from the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem to
another camera. I'm a bit clumsy here, so let me just find a correct position. There we go. And you can see the camera is working correctly. So let me just focus a bit.
So, as it turns out, it's much too boring and difficult to follow up on all the transactions that I have done over the last 6 months or so. What I propose we do is I give you a rundown or a summary of what I have achieved in these transactions. So, in total, up until the point of filming this clip, I have purchased about 52 devices, cameras and lenses mostly, and most of all from the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem. The total purchase value was about 2,200 euros, and in total I have an estimated cash value of about 3,800 euros or so. However, at the point of filming, I have sold most of them, but not all of them. So about I have summed up about 35 transactions or so, out of which the rolled out cash is about 1,600 to 1,700 euros, and the total profit out of this is about 700 euros. I don't know if you can follow on all this data. It is a bit adjusted, and what I want to underline here is that I haven't cashed in all of the pieces, and also I haven't managed to sell all of them at the highest profit. So my estimation in the title of the video is a bit clickbaity. I presume I will have sold out my inventory within the next month or so, but in total, in the best case scenario, I will have cashed in about 1,800 euros in profit, which is not bad by all means, but even in the most pessimistic of scenarios, I still will have cashed in about 1,400 euros, which again is mostly respectable and worthwhile, considering this is just a hobby, an interesting way to spend the time. Some conclusions to draw up. So far, I shifted about 2,000 euros worth of equipment. At the end of the day, when I will have sold all of these, I will have made about 3,800 euros, so 1,800 euros profit. That's an estimate profit after I sell these, all made out of spite and frustration because I didn't get a GH5 camera, which is not a bad deal if you ask me. Now, in the grand scheme of things, this is not something to be particularly satisfied about financially, meaning because it took me about 5 months to get to this point, and looking at these pieces of kit right here in front of me right now, I'm still in the spend, so I'm still invested with 500 euros or about $550 in camera equipment, something like that. but I have no issue whatsoever. I have no worries that I will recoup those spendings or even make a profit. I don't know if you understand the whole concept. It's not a black on white thing, but it's something to do with actually justifying and a reason to continue filming, because at this point, even though I gathered a whole bunch of other useless, obsolete tech stuff and junk, I still need, at the end of the day, I need to get some closure and really to move along and to evolve with my YouTube channel. I'll get to the setup in a moment, in a future episode. In closing, what I would like to say is, well, there's 3 aspects to this activity and 3 possible scenarios or consequences. 1, I get picked up by my local or rather national authorities for making a profit out of selling cameras, but really that's a hard and difficult thing to prove, especially considering it's not a huge amount of money. I have some records in my national post office due to imports, but from that to proving I actually made a lot of money, which I didn't, by the way, it's a long way. So that's the least likely scenario. Second, if some of these clips generate enough interest, well, then maybe I would get caught into a, I don't know, a sort of inquiry as to what I am doing. But then again, if I generate views, then that means, well, my YouTube channel will eventually grow and this will all have been worth it, although not for the initial monetary gain. And the third option would be, well, I'm still boring, I still don't have any views, still don't have any enough subscriptions to justify a whole YouTube channel, but I'm doing what I like. I'm showing you my gear, I'm not at a loss, I'm thriving as a private collector of tech, and well, things go on as before. So with that in mind, I leave you with these 3 possible scenarios, and well, give me your interesting opinions on the matter, and I'm fully waiting for your critiques and whether this is morally acceptable for you or not, because initially I started this YouTube channel thinking I'm not going to profit over selling tech, but really there's no other way for me at this point. So looking forward to your opinions, and in the future videos I'll talk some more about the layout, about what I plan to do with these types of cameras, what else I have stored, and other surprises or rather interesting quirky gadgets purchased in parallel, and so on and so forth. So please like, subscribe, and support me in this activity, as I'm kind of struggling. So this really comes as a sincere request. Like and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.